This solver only solves on white cross, so their first cross was done like this, and did U, D, L2, and then rotated twice, and inserted this piece like this, and rotated back over here and did R prime. This cross solution was 8 moves, which is fine, but you did rotate 3 times during cross, and you're not supposed to rotate at all during cross. So here's what I would have done. I would have done the exact same first 3 moves. So D, U, L2. This looks like where you stop planning during inspection. What I would have done is F prime to get this piece in, and then this piece. I would have done exactly what you did, but instead of doing a Y2, you could do it from the back like this. So you would do U, R prime, B prime, R prime. This piece can also be solved the other way, so U prime, and then, but that's just a rotationless way to solve the cross you did. So for your first pair, you did red-green, so the corner is here and the edge is here. So what you did was U and rotate left, then you did another U and rotate left again. And then you took this out to pair these up, so now they're paired, and what you did was you rotated back here twice, and then you inserted it with F moves. Your solution was 10 moves, and more importantly, 4 rotations. So after cross, you are in a pretty bad position. There's this pair, this pair, this pair, but if you were going to do red-green, I'd do it like this, U prime, and then here you have this. So you could take it out the same way you did, and then instead of using F moves, I would have rotated back here and done it R prime, U prime, R, and that puts the pair in the back, so you can see these 2 front slots. You can look for your next pair much easier. Since you inserted it into the front, when you were looking for your next pair, you immediately rotated right to look. So once you rotated right, you found this pair, and what you did was U, and then you took it out, and put this next to its piece, and then did L, U2, L prime, and then insert it into the back like this. That solution was pretty okay, and the good intuitive solution, but what I would have done was this. So I would have done triple inverse hexy, and then inserted it the same way you did. This solution is just a little bit faster because you don't have to do L moves. So your next pair was green-orange, and you did it like this. You did U2, R, U2, R prime, and inserted it like this. And that was a really good solution, no complaints there. That's exactly what I would have done. And then your last pair was orange and blue. So you rotated over here, took it out, and then inserted it. And that was also a very good solution. You could have done it here from the angle you got it by doing R prime, U, R, and then inserting it into the back. But the way you did it is good too. For PLO, you got this A perm and you did it like this. So you got the right-sided A perm and did it like this. I can't execute it very well because I'm used to doing the left-handed version. My only complaint with that A perm is that you did D2 as DD.
And then with D2, we have a similar idea. You can use your pinky finger followed by your ring finger. And another way which I personally prefer is ring finger followed by pinky finger.
For your second solve, you started with blue on the bottom and white on top, and did U prime to put these 2 together, R prime, U2, and that solves these first 2. And it looks like this is where you stop planning and inspection. So you rotated up and then did a Y2 and solved this piece here with F, R prime, F prime, and then you rotated here and did U prime, R2. That was 8 moves and 4 rotations. So it seems that you do have a bad habit of rotating a lot of times during cross. So here's what I would have done. I would have started with orange in front and done U to put these 2 pieces relative to each other so they can go in here. And then L prime, and that puts these 2 together the same way you did. F, R prime, D, and that solves these 2 into the back. Then F2, L2, and your cross is done in 7 moves and rotationless. So a very important thing I did there is this piece is going to go down already. So I could put it in like this, but then I would only get 1 piece in. So it's easier to put this piece on, and you know it's going to be right here, and it's going to go to the piece next to it. So that's something you can apply to any cross. Putting a piece on top of a piece that's already going down will solve your crosses in less moves. So after cross, you did U, and saw these two are paired up already. So you did U2 and rotated over here and inserted them like this. So what I would have done from this angle, you never want to do a U4. So if you see that these two are paired up, you can rotate and solve them, but you don't want to rotate this way because, like I said earlier, your pair is going to be here and you're only going to have this slot. Your other two slots are in the back, so it's harder to look for pieces. So from this position, when you see this, you rotate left and inserted it into the back. So since you did insert into the front, you rotated left and you found this pair, and how you solved it was you moved this out of the way and took it out, and then put this next to its center and did R, U2, R prime and put it in. What I would have done, I would do triple inverse XC, so like this. And that's just way easier because you don't have to think about where you're lining it up and doing your U2, you just spam TPS. So your next pair was this, green-orange. You rotated left and then you took it out and then put it next to its center and did it the same way you did before and inserted it into the back. So your solution was 11 moves and 2 rotations, and you never want to rotate more than once for a pair. So if you're solving it in 2 rotations, that means it can be solved in none. So the rotationless solution for this, you would have lined this up with the center. When you take this out, like this, it's paired. So instead of rotating and taking it out and lining it up and all of that, you can just line this up and take it out and insert it. So your last pair was this, the red-green. And what you did was the same as before. You took it out and then lined up the edge with its center and did a U2 and put it in the back. What you should have done here was U prime and then a sledgehammer. So if you don't know what a sledgehammer is, it's R prime, F, R, F prime, and then you can just insert it. It's also the same as the case that you got last time. So you would have lined it up if you had gotten it from this angle and taken it out, and then put it back in. So this is the OLL you got, a dot OLL, so I wouldn't expect you to know this. So what you did here, that was good up until here. So once you got this anti-soon, what you did was U prime. So I have no idea where you got that algorithm, but the better algorithm would be, some people here would do lefty soon, but that's not the best algorithm to do. The best algorithm here would be to do a U2 and then anti-soon. So that would be R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime. And that solves it in way fewer moves. So after OLO, you got this J perm, and you didn't know this J perm, so you did U perm like this. But what you did here was interesting. When you got this J perm, you did L prime, U, R, U prime, L, U2, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. The standard and better J perm algorithm is R, U, R prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, and then you would finish your solve. If you are looking to finish learning full PLO, how you would do this J perm is rotate down, R2, F, R, F prime, R, U2, wide R prime, U, wide R, U2. Or some people like to solve it with the lefty version of the standard J perm. So you would do U2 and then do L prime, U prime, L, F, L prime, U prime, L, U, L, F prime, L prime, or L2, U, L, U prime. And I don't use that one. I think the other one is better, but that's an option if you want to learn that. For your third solve, you started with red on the bottom and white in front, and you did U and then rotated up and did D2, L, R prime, and rotated twice and did F prime, D, R prime, D prime. This solution was 8 moves, but 3 rotations. So again, we don't want to be rotating during cross. So what I would have done, I would have started with white on the bottom and orange in front and done F prime to line up these two on opposites, as this one's already on opposite. L, U prime, R prime, F. And again, I put one piece on top of the other to get 2 pieces in at once, and D2, and that is 6 moves and no rotations. Your first F2L pair was the blue and red pair, so you did U prime, R, U2, R prime to pair them up, and then you did U prime and rotated left, and did R, U prime, R prime. So I would have done a very similar solution. I would have rotated this way and done L, U2, L prime, and then inserted it into the back. So we have another pair in the back that we don't have to worry about. You could have also done what you did, which is R, U2, R prime, and then insert it into the back instead of the front for the reasons I already talked about. Your next pair was this pair, the green and red pair, and what you did was you rotated right and did U prime, and then you rotated twice, and then did U prime again, and you were in this position, and did R, U, R prime, and then insert it into the back. So instead, what you could have done was U2, and then rotate this way, and you would have been in the same angle, instead of rotating 3 times, and you would only have to rotate once, and you would still get your same. So you can recognize this easily by these 2 colors matching up, and the white on this side. You could have also done it from this angle, where you just do U, L prime, U, L, and then you have it here and you can insert it into this slot. Your next pair was this one, the orange and blue pair, and you did U, R, U prime, R prime, and then insert it into the front. And I have no problem with that solution, and that's exactly what I would have done. Your last pair was green, orange, and what you did was you rotated left and took the pair out, then did U2, R, U2, R prime, and inserted it into the front. So what I would have done was either rotate left and do U prime, sledgehammer, so R prime, F, R, F prime, and then you have it paired up and you can insert it, or you could solve it from this angle and do U, L prime, U, L, and then rotate over here and insert it. I do think that this first solution is better, but either one will work, and it's definitely more efficient than what you did. For Olo, you got this T-shaped case, which you recognized and did U2, and then you did the standard algorithm, and I have no problems with what you did there. And then for PLO, you got this R perm, so what you did was U, 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 and then you did P perm, and then U and U perm. If you want to learn full PLO, this is the algorithm that I use. But if you're using 2-look PLL, your solution was just fine. Solve 4 started with white on the bottom and red in front, and you did DL to get these 2 in next to each other, and then D, and that solved 2 pieces, U2 to line up this one, and L2, and then to solve this piece, you did F prime, D, R prime, D prime. I would have started with white on the bottom and green in front, and did R, F2, and then D prime, F prime, B, D, and you get this nice free pair. So after that, you did orange green and went U, rotate left, U, rotate left, and then did R prime, U2, R to separate the pieces, and then you had them paired up and rotated this way to insert. So what I would have done is basically the same thing, so R prime, U2, R, and then insert it into the back because I already talked about this. Your next pair was the blue-red, so your next pair was green-red, and what you did was U2, R, U prime, R prime to split it up, and then you paired it up like this and inserted it into the back. So again, when these colors are the same and the cross colors over here, do R, U prime, R prime, and then they're set up, and you can just rotate over here and insert it into the back. So your next pair was orange-blue, and you rotated over here and did this. And that was a really good solution. So after that, you got this OLO and then you got this T-shape and did the standard algorithm. So that solution was fine if you're gonna do 2-look OLO, but if you wanna learn this easy case, you can do U2, and then lefty soon, but with wide L moves, so. And then you got this G perm and did U5 and put it in the back and did this A perm. And then you got this U perm and did it like this. You did an A perm and then a U perm, and that was fine. But if you want to learn full PLO, this is the best alg for this G perm. Your last solve started with green on the bottom and white in front, and you did R, F prime, U, and that got these two pieces in. And then you did R prime, which I think you made a mistake here and tried to insert this piece. And then you rotated Z prime, and then did U prime to get this piece out. Rotated up and right, and then inserted this piece. Did 3 times to the left and inserted this piece. So if you are going to do this pair, I would do U2, sledgehammer, and then it's paired and you insert it into the front. Then you had this free pair and you did U2 and inserted it into the front after rotating twice. You could have just inserted it from here by doing U2, L, U prime, L prime, and that would have saved 2 rotations. After that you did U and rotated right, then rotated right again and did U prime, U, and took this piece out and then paired them up like this and inserted it into the front. So again, because you inserted these 2 pairs in the front, you have nowhere to look for your next pair, so you had to rotate twice to find it. But once you did get here, you picked this pair. I would have picked this pair because it's much easier. You can do U prime, R, U, R prime, and it's paired up. If you're going to do this pair, then you should do it triple inverse sexy. And for your last pair, you did these 2 and you did U2 and paired them up here. And that was a great solution. For OLO, you did, and then did this case with the standard algorithm. And that was fine if you're gonna do two-look OLO. If you wanna use full OLO, you can do this algorithm. And then after this, you got this case and did U3 and did on the side, but there are a few finger tricks that you can learn to greatly improve your turning. You never want to regrip to do R, U, R prime because you can do it regripless. You can also do R, U prime, R prime regripless like this. Another thing is learning how to do your D2s like I pointed out in the first solve. There were a couple PLOs you don't know yet, so finish learning those. And then being able to insert into the back more often, like when you finish a pair and you have it here, instead of rotating twice to insert it, you can just insert it from here. So learning how to insert into the back will be really helpful. And the last thing is planning out your cross and inspection. So planning out your entire cross and inspection might seem really hard right now with unlimited inspection time, and you'll get to it eventually. Being able to look for more than 1 or 2 pieces in inspection will help your solves a lot, and focus on not rotating during your cross. Like whatever you do, don't rotate. And with those improvements, I think you could easily be sub 20. Thanks for entering the giveaway, and I hope this critique was helpful to you.